Yes, Cecile, now to you. Let's talk about the ear design now. Hello, my dear friends. Our patients, having completed the preparatory steps, we are now transitioning to the ear shaping process. While we do this shaping concurrently, with the diagrams and illustrations from the pictures in consideration, the distance from the skull, we are progressing by organizing the shapes of the folds inside the ear This is one of the fundamental stitches used in ear surgery. We are figuring out how near it is to the skull. Can I see? Wait a sec, buddy. Yes, this proximity is fine. What do we need to consider here when determining how close it is to the skull? Particularly if we make this midpoint too close, dear friends. A deformity known as receiver deformity can sometimes appear on the phone that you frequently encounter. It is crucial to get all these settings right. For instance, consider this ear. We shouldn't leave this ear as finished just yet, because we have only done one of our basic stitches. For this ear to be finished now, this is required. And the earlobe must be somewhat like this so that we can have a flat appearance. If we ignore this, leaving the ear in this way leads to this. If the earlobe were more open, this would be the deformation of the phone receiver. It shouldn't be like this. Now what will we do? We have established this point. Now at this point, the tail of the fold shaped like a Y inside the ear has two legs here. We will enhance the definition of this leg shortly. And by slightly enhancing the definition of this leg of the Y, we will have pulled the ear back like this. Look, we will now create the inner fold of the Y. I want you to see this especially. Look at this fold, friends. I will show it again with the tweezers. This is the area. Now we will restitch that fold. I am showing it to you again. Look. When we create this fold, the ear will take its most natural shape. Hold it, Ilkay. See, the look of that phone receiver has reduced. Now about the folds, we have made another fold. We will soon transition to the other fold. Where? We will move to this fold, dear friends. We have made it more defined. We have defined it a bit too much because it will stretch. This will soften a bit more. Our ear will be a fancy ear. You can see. The Y letter has a bend here. The other leg of the Y letter is here. Now we are making it more distinct. We shouldn't do it this way. See, this is incorrect. The adjustment is really in our hands here. We need to progress naturally. We must form a fold just like in nature. The more beautifully we can mimic creation, the more we can replicate it, the closer we get to successful outcomes, dear friends. We must avoid the deformity we call the telephone receiver deformity in the ear. I'm setting this up now. See here, my dear friends. Pay attention to this part. Look how nicely it has come together. This area must not be skipped in ear surgery, because if we overlook it, we may face the risk of developing the telephone receiver deformity again. Recently, I noticed a question of yours, a question within the comments. They say ears open up 5 and 10 years after ear surgery. I spoke with those who had it done before. Now, of course, this question immediately came to my mind when I heard this question from you. Perhaps the one who asked the question, did they consult with our operated patients? Or did they discuss with patients treated by other doctors? Of course, this is due to the lack of a response. I will answer your question with my experiences. Now, about the technique I have created and used, dear friends. After the surgery, 3 months after the surgery, I can tell you this, 99%. Your ear will not open again. What I mean by not opening again, dear friends, is for a lifetime. During the 6-month follow-up, I say there's a 99.5% certainty that this ear won't open again. This is your final status. And at our last checkup, which is the 1-year follow-up, I say to you, there is a 99.9% chance we will not observe any changes in your ear anymore. This can be used for life. I conclude your checkup as your physician. If the patient is younger than me, I recommend you come for a major visit once a year. In other words, if you are in the area, please visit us annually. And thankfully, we maintain communication with our patients. In fact, some of them, as they say in football, we look forward to the next matches. We also see each other in other surgeries. After the surgery, the knowledge I've acquired from patients who visited me after 10 or 15 years, the feedback we received. Friends, the result of this surgery, the result of this technique is permanent. 5 years later, 10 years later, we are not anticipating any alterations in the shape of your ear. Therefore, you will be able to enjoy the results of the surgery with beautiful ears for a lifetime in health and peace. Hello again, dear friends. We have finished Cecil's right ear. We showed it to her. She said she liked it very much. You liked it, didn't you, Cecil?
I adored it.
Oh, wonderful.
It was as I wished.
Now we have moved on to her left ear. I focused on providing you with more technical details about her right ear. Now let's chat a bit about her left ear, dear friends. Cecil, how did you decide to have this ear surgery? Or when did you decide? What pushed you here?
Up until a year ago, we had been considering doing it, but I lacked the courage. Eventually I made a decision and began my research on the internet. After that, I watched your videos and made the decision to be here.
So, you have had the desire and wish to have this surgery for a long time?
Yes, but I couldn't gather the courage.
So how long have you felt this way? Since what age have you been visually uncomfortable with your ears?
I actually noticed myself in kindergarten. I had told my mother that we would get it done later. Then I made up my mind.
It has been quite advanced, but thankfully it has happened. Looks like we've won his affection in the right ear. Let's see if we can do the same on the left. Observe how close they are to the skull. The ear needs to be flat. Well, use it well and goodbye.